All right, let's try something new. First time, viewer's voice. It's a segment where we hand you the microphone. It's born out of the simple idea that this is your government, and in theory, it should work for you, right? Our inbox has been flooded since we launched the concept and began asking you to send in questions for members of Congress. And there were a ton of great ones, lots of good ones. I went through them. But we picked a handful of them. Some of the best ones that stood out for our chosen lawmaker tonight. He is our guinea pig. He's also the Republican from Georgia, Rich McCormick, here with us tonight on the Hill. Congressman, good on you. Thanks for being with us. We figured, you know what? Let's put the questions before the lawmakers. So let me start with you. I know you represent Georgia, but we're going to take you around the country. Here is North Carolina. This comes to us from Cindy. She says, and I quote here, "Is anyone working on a bill that if a government shutdown happens, the Senate or House doesn't get paid nor take advantage of any government benefits when a shutdown happens?" The genesis of this, of course, is we're in another partial government shutdown. What would you tell Cindy in the Tar Heel State?
Yeah, there is no bill like that, but I'll tell you, many of us, including myself, have not taken pay every time we have a shutdown. In this case, once again, it's frustrating for me, just as much for you, maybe even more so. I take this very personal. We did our job in the House. We passed our bill. The Senate couldn't get it done. This should be something that's not even controversial, in my opinion. The fact that we don't fund essential personnel, people who have to come to work, is egregious. We do have several bills that says that people who come to work actually get paid. People who stay home eventually get paid anyways. So it's not like they're not going to get their pay. But I don't think senators or congressmen should be paid if other people aren't getting paid. That's just the way it should be.
Does this last days or weeks?
I hope days. I don't think this is a good argument right now. What they want is the same thing we want, which is we want a funded DHS. We want a funded, better trained ICE with cameras on them.
All right, I'm going to take you over to Pennsylvania. This comes to us from Paul in Westchester. He says, is there a level of national debt that you would not allow to be exceeded, even if that requires reducing funding for non-discretionary programs? The debt headed to $40 trillion shortly. It's at $38 trillion in change. What would you tell them out there in PA?
Well, the problem is, what would you cut in non-discretionary funding? Would it be Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare?
I'm getting there.
Proponents. Yeah, it's unfortunately, we're going to have an automatic cut of both Social Security and Medicaid or Medicare in the next presidency. Almost certainly. It's mathematically predictable. We need to do something drastically, rearrange the way we pay for things. The problem is nobody wants to cut anything that's non-discretionary. And I think right now we're reaching a point where you couldn't even, if you cut all discretionary spending, you still wouldn't be there right now. We'd still be deficit spending. That's a major problem.
So you walked me into it. Here's in Michigan. This is George and Montague, Michigan, out west. If you do the hand, it's middle left. When will you fix Social Security for good? Because you know this, Congressman, and you and I have talked about this. Depending on whatever projection you want to look at, call it 2033, 34. You're not getting 100% of what you were expecting. Something's got to give. You either cut benefits, you raise the age, or print, or do something. So what would you tell George?
Well, first of all, I think the age hasn't been moved since basically the average person lives a lot longer now. We got to move the date, in my opinion. You have to change the tax reform a little bit, and we need to save Social Security. It could easily be done. We have bipartisan bills already in the pipe right now that could be passed. They're actually really good solutions. The problem is nobody wants to touch it because they think it's the third rail, that whoever wants to reform Social Security will be voted out of office. I think it's a coward's way out. I think last time we addressed this, nobody lost their job. We revised it. Everybody's fine. You just put in a grandfather clause. Anybody who's within 10 years doesn't get touched. Everybody else gets adjusted with reasonable concessions.
Yeah, I mean, in the primary, Mike Pence, Nikki Haley had talked about this, and you know how things went for them. So your idea is what? Say that again.
We have several bipartisan bills out there right now that would actually take care of this. With minor changes, and as a matter of fact, it wouldn't affect anybody who's near Social Security right now, but it would make it more viable for the long-term solution, that we can shore it up and actually do some good things to make it viable continuously.
All right. One of the things that we saw in the 2024 election, time and time again with polling, Congressman, was housing. And this comes to us from Pat in Neptune, New Jersey. What plans would you support to increase the amount of housing units and thereby reduce the cost of housing? I know that there's a bipartisan bill that just passed out of the House, but the Senate's not fully on board. They have their own solution. President Trump wants certain things involved as well as it relates to cracking down on institutional investors. So how would you answer Pat there, and what realistically do you think ends up getting to the president's desk?
There's actually a lot of things we could do. We could actually make it non-punitive to sell your house as an older adult. Right now, they're getting taxed to oblivion. They can't afford to sell their house, so it doesn't open up that market. We need to make sure that corporate folks aren't buying up all the houses and then renting them out. We need to make sure that we deregulate the housing process, because right now, that's 40% of every new house built. That is added into the cost by the regulatory burden of house making. We need to get that trimmed down pronto, and I think those three things right there would make a huge difference in the housing market.
Do you think it can be done at the federal level? Because time and again, I hear from lawmakers and people who deal with the issue that at the end of the day, housing's local.
It is, and by the way, it's actually local and federal. It's got to be a team game. You got to put a lot of pressure on your local folks, but really, it's both. We have some part to play in that too, as far as the commodities we use to actually build these houses, to make sure that it's easier, so that we're not punitive on housing makers. I mean, this is a team sport when it comes to getting to the bottom of this.
All right, let me take you out west to California, and this comes from Gary in Vallejo, California. This just relates to, we do politics a lot, but like this is just every day. What is Congress doing to stop the epidemic of spam calls from predatory offers of pre-approved loans? I get at least 10 of these a day on my cell phone. Do they even care about this issue? I see you laughing because, you know, it's funny because it's true. Like, this is the stuff that annoys us daily. What would you tell them?
You know, it's funny. I do too. I haven't been able to figure. I've reported these guys. When I first came in office, I'm going to report this. I'm a congressman. This will get fixed. Nope, not at all. As a matter of fact, I had a guy joke with me before I was ever voted into office. He said, I tell you what, if you figure a way to get rid of all these spam texts and calls, you will be the president of the United States someday. And I tell you what, we still haven't figured it out. It's a more complex issue than I thought. We've been trying to come up with something clever, like actually anybody who sends out mass text or mass phone calls is fined or at least given a charge, some nominal fee that actually makes it really expensive to do that. But we still haven't come to an agreement on that yet. But it's annoying to everybody, including people in the legislation.
I'm curious, when you go back home, are these kind of the questions you get as a member of Congress?
Yeah, very similar, actually. These are universal questions. And by the way, this is not one party that's gotten us into this mess. This debt mess we have, bipartisan. That parabolic curve started back in 2004 when we expanded Medicare dramatically. Since then, we had the expansion of the 2008 and with the housing market crash, and then again with COVID, we've never got back to regular spending issues. This is a bipartisan problem. All these problems are bipartisan. We've got to stop bickering, stop worrying about who takes credit, and get it done.
Well, as you know, Congressman, bipartisan's what we do here, all voices. So coming up next time we do this, Democratic member of Congress will take a lot of these questions as well. Congressman Rich McCormick, Republican, Georgia. Again, appreciate you being the first one out the gate for us tonight here on the Hill. Thank you, sir.